The 118th Congress kicked off today in our nation's capital with Republicans now in control of the House of Representatives. Now, last week, House Republicans announced an ambitious pro-family agenda with a focus on IRS funding, energy production, immigration, crime, and the right to life. But first, Congress must choose a new speaker. And with the third round of voting just concluding, the House has not reached an agreement. How long could this continue? Well, joining us, I believe we're going to have joining us by phone from just outside the House chamber is Texas Congressman Pat Fallon, who represents the 4th District of the Lone Star State. Congressman, are you with us?
I am. Tony, how are you?
Hey, we're doing good. Thanks so much for stepping off the floor to talk with us. So we just finished 3 rounds of voting. It moves now to a 4th.
Thanks, Jody.
When does that occur?
Okay, Tony, it'll happen probably. They're officially tallying the roll call vote. And I would say within 5 to 15 minutes, they'll announce that. And then there will be nominations once again. And then we'll go through the process that we just did 3 times for a 4th cycle.
Now, this last go round, and I wasn't keeping the tally sheet names and numbers. I was just looking at the numbers. But the first 2 rounds, there were 19 votes. Republican votes against Kevin McCarthy. This time it was 20 in this third round. Are we losing ground in terms of gaining a position of unity?
That was one person, so I think that was somewhat of an anomaly. But I think it's really important, Tony, for your listeners, because now I have good Republicans in our district kind of on both sides of this issue. So I just wanted to kind of share with people some perspective and facts. So Kevin McCarthy, for the last 2 years, was fighting, Nancy Pelosi along with the rest of us. He was the minority leader, and he helped raise, it's a whopping $500 million for Republican candidates. He was in 47 different states. So anyway, we earned the majority. It's a small one, but we earned the majority. And we have dramatically improved the House rules. Some of the more digestible and easy to understand ones are no bill will be considered for 72 hours once it's posted. So you get 72 hours to read the bill, not 3 days that they can manipulate down to 24 and a half hours, but 72 real hours. We've decentralized control of the steering committee, which the steering committee selects what committees members get on. But here's the most important part. Any 5 members in the GOP can do what's called a call on the chair, which means they can remove, it's like no confidence vote for speaker. They can do it at any time. Anytime. So I don't understand what's happening now, because if Kevin McCarthy were to not live up to conservative standards, then any 5 GOP members can do a call on the chair. All the Democrats will vote to remove him. Plus those 5, he's no longer speaker, or whoever it was. So I don't understand why we're going through this now, to be honest.
I've had Kevin McCarthy on the program. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, Kevin's a friend, worked with him on a number of things. And this is not, as I don't think you heard my opening comments here. This is not, I think, as it's being mischaracterized as a battle between conservative and not so conservative members. It's not that. It is the process, I think, as you just laid out some of the changes that Kevin has agreed to. This is a process of trying to correct where the House has gone off track in recent years by the changing of the rules, by consolidating power with a very few. The effort here, I think, is trying to get the House back to truly the people's house.
Yes, and bills have to go through committee, which is why we have committees in the first place. Nancy Pelosi ruled with an iron authoritarian fist from her office. She was writing major pieces of legislation, spending literally, Tony, trillions of dollars without input from even her rank and file Democratic members. So we don't vote like that. The socialist robots on the other side are continuing to vote 212, 212, 212 for Hakeem Jeffries. We all think for ourselves.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you have Jim Jordan getting 19 votes and he's not even voting for himself, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, you have Ronnie Jackson, myself, strong, proven conservatives voting for Kevin McCarthy. It's not ideological. It's just more practical at this point.
Well, and as you pointed out, conservatives do think for themselves. That's part of our challenge, but it's what makes us strong in that we can think for ourselves and we can work toward consensus. So with that, Congressman Fallon, How long before you think the House reaches consensus?
Tony, in all candor, I think that this is going to go on all night until they just adjourn for the night. I don't think we're going to get anywhere. Obviously, I kind of hope and pray for the best, but prepare for the worst. And I think that we go into tomorrow. Beyond that, I don't know how long we go, but we need to get sworn in so we can do the business of the people. And I want to fight socialism. That's what I came to D.C. to do.
Yeah. Well, and you're doing a great job of it, and we certainly do respect you and your credentials as a conservative, without question. Congressman Pat Fallon, thanks so much for stepping off the floor to talk with us.
Thanks, Tony. Anytime. God bless you and Happy New Year.